What do you miss most about being a student athlete?
I think the ability to be involved in my community at
Ooh,
NC
yeah,
State is probably the biggest thing that I miss. I feel like now I have to go out of my way to seek it. Versus being in college, it was almost like you were voluntold, but it was still very impactful. So I definitely miss just the ability of impacting other people around me in my community.
I love that. It's awesome. So remind me again, what sport did you play and what do you do now?
Yeah, so I played at NC State. I played professional volleyball, so I was at NC State for 5 years, and then played professional volleyball for three. And now I work at a staffing company.
Very cool. And what's one skill that you may have learned as an athlete that you still feel like you use today?
Most recently, I've been flexing my networking
Oh,
hat,
yeah. Yeah.
just because I think when you're in college, you meet so many people, whether they're fans of the sport, fans of NC State, fans of who you are, or a role model to your children, that you don't really understand how to shift that from being just a fan or someone that always watches you play into how can you help me potentially go into my next career. So I think that has been the biggest thing. And one of the other ones is also soft skills of just being able to talk to other people and find connections somehow, some way.
Absolutely. Awesome. And lastly, if you were standing in front of student athletes today, what's one piece of advice that you would give them, particularly for life after sports?
I think having a plan B is always great. Not necessarily being like, oh, my sport's going to come to an end at this point, but just knowing that you're more than your sport and you're more than an athlete,
Yeah.
and utilizing that to put you into your next career whenever you are leaving your sport. I was always around being in sports, whether it was playing professional volleyball, working at ESPN or NCAA, and I always knew that my sport was going to come to an end just because volleyball at the time was not in America. And a huge part of my volleyball career has now been playing in America, which was really great.
Yeah.
But all the injuries, all the time that you put into your sport, you don't realize that there's another transition that needs to be had. So whether it's joining other chapters or going to different networking events, just being able to showcase your talents outside of your sport, I think is the biggest advice I could give someone.
Absolutely. Melissa, thank you so much for sharing your story and as well as giving pieces of advice to current student athletes. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Evan. This has been great. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.